is where good chemistry comes in. When two people hit it off right from the start, we say they have good chemistry. They connect, they mesh, they complement each other. Perhaps they even seem to become one. In physics, chemistry, and biology, opposites attract, creating a strong, unified whole. This sort of pair bonding occurs throughout nature. In the animal kingdom during mating, when neurotransmitters dock onto receptors, when a tree and a mycelial network share resources, think of it as a mushroom internet, and when two atoms share their electrons to align in a chemical bond. Good chemistry is everywhere, pouring the foundation for strong connections. When they occur in humans, these acts of bonding, of reliance and interdependence, ignite pharmacological fireworks in our brains. They are referred to as affiliative behaviors and are designed to reward us chemically, helping to ensure our survival. The more we lock into oneness, the better we feel. Being held in a lover's arms, holding a baby, and helping a neighbor can all trigger this satisfying sense of feeling hooked in. When we belong, we feel safe. We can relax. This is why we do it. In the modern world, most of us have discovered ways to mimic that good chemistry without actually connecting, perhaps not even realizing it's only a workaround. We stay glued to our phones and it feels good, but not quite good enough. Synthetic substitutes don't work as well as natural ones. There is a great saying in addiction medicine: you can never get enough of something that almost works. This insatiability fuels the engine of addiction. When it comes to drugs, they don't completely scratch that itch, and some drug users will opt for quantity over quality, chasing that elusive high. When it comes to human connection, when we don't get what we need, we become compulsive in our consumption of nearly everything else. And I can see, nearly everywhere I look, that we are not getting what we need. Not even close. There's a loneliness epidemic in this country. I witnessed it most acutely in my patients at Bellevue Hospital, where I spent 9 years as the doctor in charge, running the weekend night shift at the psychiatric ER. But I also see it now, in my private practice patients in New York City. They don't have enough meaningful connections in their lives, and it hurts. One definition of patient is one who suffers. Using that, I feel like I can diagnose the whole city. I see this sense of isolation on the streets and subways and trains of my commute. Most frightening of all, I now notice that same terror of loneliness in the searching eyes of babies faced with the back of a cell phone. The vicious cycle of loneliness and being glued to our screens is the elephant in the room. We don't want to talk about it because then we will have to do something about it. Most of us are already waist-deep in our addiction and deeply in love with our devices. In fact, time spent on a screen can generate brain chemistry similar to infatuation and attachment, the two stages of falling and staying in love that we'll go over in more detail in Chapter 2. We're a world in denial of our own digital dependence. We see it in our kids, we see it in ourselves, yet most of us do nothing. We simply don't want to stop, even though the message from the data is clear. More time alone with your glowing screen makes you more unhappy. Several longitudinal studies of teenagers show a direct correlation, with unhappiness rising proportionally as screen time increases. In an unrelated study, it's curious to see that in adults, screen time is rising as they are having sex less frequently. Taking on the world's traumas is too much for any of us to bear. We're not built for it. Heavy users of social media are more likely to be depressed and lonely, and a recent study showed that decreasing your screen time by even 30 minutes a day can help you feel less lonely and depressed. We all know our screens aren't the answer. Everywhere people are starving for human connection, physical touch, even sustained eye contact. Formal